Shalom to everybody who may come across this video. It is Naeem Shakam here, also known as Jude. I'm coming to make a video real quick. Hopefully it'll be quick. It's kind of like a little chatty video about some of the things that Spirit has been bringing to my remembrance and reminding me of. Okay. One of the first things I do want to preface this video with saying is that this video is about to be about magic. It's about to be about the power that each of us have, period. If you are alive in this time, if you're here in the earth, you are powerful already. Just putting that out there. But more importantly, this is about taking responsibility for the power of creation that we have and actually learning how to use it. Now, I'm no expert here. I'm just going to tell y'all what Spirit told me. Hold on, y'all. I played in my lashes today, and I feel like something might be going on. Anyway, so let me put my glasses on so I could read what I need to be able to read and go on about my business. I hate sometimes. Okay, there we go. Moving on. One of the biggest things that I have found that's really important when we're getting ready to embark on our spiritual journey, and especially when we're getting ready to embark on our spiritual journey as it pertains to, hold on y'all, my screen is dirty. What the heck is going on? As it pertains to getting ready to use our powers of manifestation, one of the most important things that you're supposed to have in alignment is, and with yourself, is your purpose for why you're trying to begin to manifest the magic and your intentions. So I'm going to read something that Spirit gave me while I was in meditation. I was in the shower at first, but Spirit knew that I was taking my shower so I could take my meditation bath, so I could take my spiritual bath. Oh, wow, what the heck is going on? I got fingerprints and stuff all right here. It's so funny. Anyway, first of all, Spirit had me to get a binder, and the binder is specifically for rituals. Okay? Specifically. The phrase majestic magic came to me during one of the spiritual baths and meditation, and I knew that that was what I was going to name my little binder that's going to have information about rituals that I've used and just stuff that Spirit tells me. So that's what the name of mine is, Majestic Magic. And then this little thing right here, I saw a symbol like this in my dreams. It's similar to it, but it may not be dead on. But I saw a symbol like this in my dreams, and that dream told me that the key is inside of me. And I was like, what the? And it was like, I felt this sense that there were beings that were looking for me to kind of harm me. Basically, it seemed a little scary, so I didn't want them to find me. And I was like, I don't got the key. Or if I got the key, I don't want the key. It was like something like that, okay? So I didn't want the key. At least in the dream, I did not, right? Because I was nervous and I was scared. Because something was after me. But the key is inside of us, and that's what that's about. So that's why I have this as my little front. It's not much, but it's something, and it means something to me, and that's all that matters. So I have some notes about some other stuff that I did, oversoul meaning messages and all that kind of stuff. I have some practice with that. A lot of us guys, we're already powerful. So what we're doing now, any of us who are being called to really tap into our spiritual powers and learn more about our spiritual powers, all we doing is learning and remembering how to use really what we kind of been using, but not knowing that we've been using it. And also some things we have not used for fear of them. So when you tap into this and you start getting important, you start knowing that it's important to know your spiritual truths and to accept and embrace yourself, you're going to realize that you've been having the powers that you got. You just were suppressing them. So I had recorded thoughts that were coming to me, and I feel like they were information from spirit. So when it comes to just magic and spiritual work all in itself, and spell work, spell is speaking. That's the most common way I could say it. We cast spells every day over ourselves and over other people. Spells, so it says the most potent spell is one that is created by the one who wants or needs something. Those thoughts and intentions, either thought quietly or spoken internally, well, no, thoughts, which is spoken internally, or written or spoken aloud, believed in purity and honesty and with childlike faith. So that's what Spirit gave me. The most potent magic that we have is for us to either think something and believe that shit, or to actually say it out loud, still with believing it, believing that it's going to happen. That's the most powerful magic there is. So that's the reason why getting in tune with yourself, learning yourself, really finding out what it is that you truly desire and stuff like that. Like that's why that's really important. Okay. Again, a lot of us are broken. A lot of us have experienced very traumatic things in life, and they have fragmented us and they have shaped us into the person that we are. They got us thinking the ways that we think. Okay. The reason that that's important is because obviously, if we are not working on our healing, right? And if we're not working on wanting to improve our mindsets or wanting to improve the ways that we respond or react to people based upon the trauma that we've experienced, then we're going to be manifesting. Oh, yeah. But what we manifest may be terrible. And it's going to be terrible because we're manifesting from this broken place. Oh my gosh, and there's so many different things coming through, in and out, in and out. And most people, when you're broken and when you're hurt, you manifest all the bad shit, all the negative things. This is why bad things happen to you. You attract people who continue to do bad things to you, because that's what we're manifesting from. And many of us don't know that. So many people in this world have manifested whole families, whole lifestyles, whole belief systems out of this brokenness. And this is what we're getting to see in the world every day, all day. Just saying. So it is important, it is highly imperative that when you begin to realize that you want to start working with your magic and you want to start manifesting something, it's important to meditate, sit with yourself, figure out what is it that I want to do? Why do I want to do this? What's my motivation? Okay. And from there, I think that if people are honest with themselves, you'll know whether or not something is good for you to do, or you should probably chill and wait until you're in a better place. Because you can rest assured, again, the most potent spell, the most powerful magic is magic that is thought about, which is still spoken internally, or magic that has been written or said aloud that somebody believes in with a childlike faith. Like, okay, you believe without no doubt. So it says spells are created and empowered by our thoughts, our actions. And potent spells are created when our thoughts and actions align. These yield powerful results. So basically, in a nutshell, when oh, excuse me, that felt great. When what you thought about, you actually do, that's the most powerful spell. And it's going to yield results, hands down. So let me give an example of how we've used spells. Some of us have you ever thought about going on a vacation? When it comes to planning and thinking about where you want to go, there's a reason for why you want to go there. So that reason is what fuels you actually working to save money or whatever it is that you do, or rustle up money, however it is that you get the money. Your motivation for why you want to go is what fuels you to put in the work and the efforts to bring up that money so that the result is that you end up there. That was all a spell. It was even a ritual involved. The planning, and then once you find out how much you got to pay, then you consistently make payments towards. This is magic. This is magic as well. And it's practical magic. And that is the movie. That movie just popped up in my head while I was in the shower. And Spirit just started talking to me about how practical magic really is, how all of us are really magical, whether you're aware of it or you're not, and how all of us are manifesting something, whether you're aware of that or not. Most people are unaware of what they're manifesting. Those who become more powerful and more wise in the way that they manifest are those who sit down and take the time to realize, hey, I'm doing something here. Or to realize and recognize that, hey, I'm powerful. I thought about that and then I made it happen. These are those who become sages. These are those who people will try to say that they're witches and warlocks and things like that. Moving on. It says, we are so powerful and our thoughts are so powerful that even the things that we do not want, we have the power to call to and create for ourselves because we focus on them. This is the reason why, as a manifester, it is important what you focus on. So if you don't want to manifest your worst fears, that means you cannot focus on them. But when you don't focus on them, innately, your fears begin to go away. They dissipate. And you know what? The Bible talks about magic all the time. Seriously, it does. Like, I would be lying. And this is the reason why I was so happy when I feel like the spirit that I know as Christ started teaching me about the importance of getting to know thyself. Christ opened up and showed me that the God in the Bible that it says, thou shalt have no other God before this particular God, that God is you. You're supposed to learn yourself, respect yourself, love yourself, honor yourself, and you're definitely not supposed to put anybody before you to your detriment. It'll be to your detriment to do that. That's number one. We see that in real life when people are putting folks before them and people are abusing them. That's a prime example of putting another God before you. Because Christ also said that we are gods, which is true. We are. We're created in the very essence. We have the same character traits as the universe. We can call forth something. We can stop something from happening. We that powerful. Period. And it's in here. The universe is in here. So moving on. Oh, that felt so great, guys. Please forgive me. Christ, I feel, showed me that putting no God before us is us. Not putting anybody before us to the point to, of course, where it is to our demise or our detriment. That we're supposed to learn about ourselves. I mean, really learn about self. From that, we are also supposed to learn to love ourselves, the light and the dark, how they can work together to manifest things for ourselves. And then that same love and that same respect and that same honor that we give to ourselves, we are supposed to give to other people. That's what Christ teaches and taught. But most people don't get that because they're bogged down in religion and what other people said. You know, not saying that I'm any different, because right now you guys could be like, okay, Jude, well, that's just your understanding of scripture. That's probably true. And I have no arguments there. None whatsoever. I wouldn't argue with that. But that is the understanding that I have taken away from that after having that other understanding for so long. You know, we are God in the earth, you guys. You don't see God except when looking at creation, all that God has created. This is how we learn God. And God created us, and it is spoken and it is said that we are created in the likeness and image. Doesn't mean we actually physically look like God, but it does mean, well, in a way it kind of does, because image is a physical representation. But most importantly, we are created in his likeness, meaning, or its likeness. Let me not say his, because again, we have male and female energy. And that's the reason why there are males and females that were created. With that being said, guys, all I'm ultimately saying is that when it comes to the likeness of the Most High, this means that we have the power to create. We have the power to dominate, the power to rule, the power to bless, the power to curse. We have that, whether we ever use it or not. And most of us are using it. We just are using it amiss. We're using it wrong because we're using it in ignorance and not in knowledge of ourselves. Moving on. So we must shift our focus to continually think of what we desire to create. This is why meditation is important. This is even why being alone is important. When I was dealing with this, Christ was telling me that it's important to spend time by yourself. One, because you don't have all the outside influences of somebody else. You don't have somebody telling you what you should and you shouldn't be doing. You only have time to listen to the spirit that is at work within you and be obedient to that. And when we're obedient to the spirit that's at work in us, that is being obedient to the Most High. And on an individual scale, when we learn to be obedient to the Most High within, when it comes to dealing with other people, we'll be on time, we'll be effective. When I say on time, I'm talking about all of this spiritually speaking and physically. You'll find yourself in places where you're able to assist people who really needed some damn saving or some assistance. And you'll find that, oh my God, you'll be useful because you were in the right place at the right time. I'm just saying, guys, this happens on the daily. But it definitely comes from getting to know self. So that's just a little snippet of some things that Spirit gave. One of the other things that's important, I wanted to bring out this book, which is The Greater Key of Solomon. I feel as though Spirit also revealed to me that this is real information, it's true information, it's powerful information. It's information that even the elites and people who don't have the best interest of the collective in mind, they know that this is real. They implement this in their lives. They teach their children about it at some point in time. Of course, it's tainted. But I would recommend that anybody who is very serious about beginning to tap into their powers of manifestation and being a creator, I would recommend that y'all get this. You don't have to buy it like this. There's free copies of it in PDF form, which is what I have and had for many years before I actually bought it. I just bought it because I want to have it with me to refer back to and be able to hold and maybe write notes and stuff on, but I have the PDFs too. I got a couple different of them. One of the most important things that Solomon talks about, which I know is the absolute and utmost truth. There is a warning that Solomon gives his son in saying that the first, before you try to learn about this magic and before you try to put any of these rituals into practice, you have to have divine love. That already cuts out a lot of us because many of us don't love. Not like we should. Many of us are not lovers. There are some who are. And they really are loving people, period, no matter what. You are a lover. At the core of you, you are moved by love. With that being said, you guys, if you are not a person who has dealt with traumas and the negative effects of those traumas and how they make you angry, if you are not a person who can forgive, if you are not a person who can exhibit love in actions like forgiveness, in actions like having patience with someone, in actions like being long-suffering with people, or giving people chance after chance, and then rituals and magic are going to be deadly in your hands, because then you'll be causing mischief and misfortune and all that to people from broken places, and not even necessarily from truth. You'll be coming from places of fear, anger, resentment, and all of that ain't gonna do nothing but bring back all that evil shit on you. So as a creator, understand that what you create, you benefit from, whatever that may be. So anyway, I didn't talk too long. This is just my first video on it. I don't know, it may be the only damn video on it, but I just felt led to talk about that. So this is for those who are open to the understanding that you are a manifester and that you're a creator and that you are a God. Be it male or female, you are a God. You have everything in you to create the type of atmosphere that you desire. That makes you a God. Not only that, you also have the ability to judge between righteousness and unrighteousness, truth and lies. You also have the power and authority to stand for fairness or inequality. And we have to choose which one we're going to stand for. Moving on. I love you guys with the love of the Most High. I got to go.